Hello YouTube, N64 here, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in again as always, it's very much appreciated. What we're going to go through on this video is talk about this DK64 Donkey Kong controller that I picked up recently. So if any of you saw my short, you'll have seen that I've grabbed this, and it's a really unique piece really. It's not something you see in the UK very often, or even Europe. Like I said in my short, if you've seen that, it's a North American exclusive. It wasn't available the rest of the world, and you could only get this by having a subscription to the Nintendo Power magazine. It was like a promotional sort of giveaway if you subscribed to the magazine at the time. It's believed that there's only 1,000 to 5,000 of these ever made and released. It's not something you could buy from a shop. It never came boxed. It's kind of like a loose item. I'll put a picture on. It just had a baggie and the usual blue baggie that you had at the end of the cord there. And yeah, it's not something that ever came boxed. It's a really unique piece really. It doesn't come up for sale too often, certainly not in Europe like I said, and I wouldn't say I got a bargain on this, but I certainly didn't pay through the nose either. I think there's one on eBay at the moment, you know, for $450 or something like that. I paid £250, it's a lot of money, but it's also a good price. They don't come up very often. It's in fantastic condition, there's no like serious damage. I'll put on overlay. Yeah, all the decals in good condition, all the banana tips are not worn or anything like that. You'll have to excuse me, it's a bit hot in here so I'm sweating, but yeah, it's really good condition. Really happy. It's got a tight thumbstick as well, and yeah, it's gone a bit dry on the Fox Data controller hunt, so I just had a bit of an itch to scratch. I just came up, so I decided to bite the bullet, and I paid £250 all in, including postage and PayPal fees, and you know, I'm pretty happy with that. I had some money come back in, so I sold the Chameleon Twist 2, which I touched base on. Basically, the person who bought that paid in 2 installments, so I'd received the second installment of 200 something odd quid, the other half of what it sold for to. I also sold Airborder 64, you know, I got that sealed copy that I've dropped on the channel. I sold my old copy for 250, paid 300 for the sealed one. So those two lump sums of money coming back in, this came up for sale, and I couldn't resist really. It's just another controller to go on display. For those of you who've noticed, I've spun the room round a little bit, so I've got the cabinet behind me on this wall now. We'll get a new biddy bookcase on this wall, and that's where my other games are going to go. PlayStation 1 to 5 and so on. And yeah, it just made sense to have the N64 on this wall because the box protector, sometimes the light creeps in through the blinds and reflects off the plastic, and it's not the best background as it could be, so hopefully it looks better now. But yeah, just going back to the controller then, it's obviously an official yellow controller. We can all see that. There's nothing different to a standard controller. You've just got the DK64 logo here and decal. I feel it, it's not raised or anything like that, but it's just like a nice touch to distinguish it from a standard yellow controller. But of course the main sort of eye-grabbing element is the banana tips on the controller, which makes them look like 3 bananas. It's pretty neat really. And it's just a bit of cool memorabilia, history, promotional items that were around at the time for the Nintendo 64. Unfortunately, we didn't see things like this in PAL territories. We really didn't. We really got the raw end of the deal. We didn't see things like this. We'd never got the yellow cart that Australia and North America got for their versions of Donkey Kong 64. I don't really remember DK64 releasing back in the day, but I've got a mate who's several years older, Flashback TNT, and he remembers going to buy DK64 on release and being disappointed when he got home to learn that there wasn't a yellow cart inside. So it had obviously been spoken about in magazines and stuff, and there was hype around it and expectation, but for whatever reason in Europe that wasn't to be, and it's really disappointing really. It's a big gripe of mine that, I don't know, some will say that grey carts are more consistent and so on, but I always envied the fact that North American collections had certain games in different colours. Not only did they have many more exclusives, you know, like Spider-Man and so on, but the fact that it came in a red cart, baseball games that came out in blue carts, red carts, and we just got standard grey carts for our versions of the same game basically, and so you just feel a bit deprived. But every now and then there is the odd title that did get a coloured cart, like Turok 2, the black cartridge, but you know, in the main we didn't really get anything coloured. Majora's Mask gold cart perhaps, and Pokemon Stadium 2, it's a half grey, half gold I think, but with a glittered pattern. But in the main we really didn't get any coloured cartridges compared to North America. And yeah, just promotional items like these we didn't see. Australia got the DK crate, that was pretty unique. That was a unique promotional giveaway. Don't know too much about that, but I'll put a picture of it on overlay, and they're considered to be grails as well because they were a giveaway and there's not many of those around. So yeah, just pleased to add this into the collection. £250. It's not cheap, but I consider it a fair price given the condition and the scarcity. It's not something you can just go and pick up in the UK whenever you feel like it. I believe there is one on eBay, but it's really expensive compared to this, and otherwise you wouldn't really see them. And if you do decide that you wanted to buy one, you'd have the import costs associated with that and high postage costs, which I didn't have. This was already in the UK. It was from a trusted seller, so it just helped to have peace of mind that I'd have it the day after paying for it, really, on a special delivery. So that's about it for the DK64 controller. There's not an awful lot of information about them online. They're quite difficult to get information on. Drop a comment if you know something about the DK64 controller that I haven't touched on. You know, correct me if I'm wrong on anything. You know, I'm only going off what I've managed to research on the controllers themselves. So yeah, I'll be getting a new Billy bookcase at the weekend. I'm going to start putting some of my other games on this wall here where the N64 Billy was. And yeah, it'll just free up some space to put my Mega Drive games across the shelves that I've got over there. I'm going to get to work on Banjo-Kazooie because that's the next episode dropping on Mission N64 239. Can I complete and review all 239 UK Power N64 games? That's right, all of them. So yeah, it's episode 11, Banjo-Kazooie, coming up. If you enjoyed the video, please whack a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It pushes the video into YouTube's algorithm and helps get more eyes on the channel. If you're a new viewer or you're a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It really helps me out. It helps the channel grow. It helps me feel like my efforts are being appreciated, and yeah, it'll help me. It'll help motivate me bring more content like this to the channel. So the next video will probably drop next Thursday, and that's when I'll be bringing the game room changes, and I'll drop an update on where I am with Banjo-Kazooie and Mission N64 239 episode 11. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. DK64 decal here. It's like a little logo. You just got the DK64 decal logo. Yeah, moving on then.